Hello, everybody. I know I'm 2 minutes early. I just want to make sure everything's working. I was just laughing at Melissa's comment about everybody coming over to my place instead. Okay. Can someone tell me if you can hear me? Let's start with that. Thank you. Okay, so where are we at? We're like in our last minute before starting, but I can't believe how many of you are here and have skipped your bedtime, changed your eating window just to be here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm feeling almost a little overwhelmed with it. Melissa, I want you to know that I'll tell you that later. I'll tell you later once we get going here. Okay. I'm so nervous. I just need to flip something up over here. Okay, it feels like everything's working. So I think we'll, even though we're just a few seconds early, we may as well forge ahead. And thank you guys for showing up. And maybe tell me where you're from. I recognize a lot of you and know where you're from, but there's some names here that I don't recognize. And so I'd love to know where you're from, especially those of you that are sacrificing sleep. Here's a question I'm going to answer. Teddy is fine. He just was playing with his ball when that picture was taken. It's so hard to get them both in my lap at the same time. So just want you to know that. Thank you for asking about him. Here he is. Oh, Teddy. He was magically handed to me. Teddy. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm sorry. I am a little nervous because this is my first YouTube live. I've done some with my private members, and a handful of people basically. So this is my first one on YouTube. So I know you guys will bear with me. And I just tell you about what's been going on the last couple weeks. I'm here to answer any questions as well. If any of you have some questions you would like me to answer, please post them below. I will probably scroll through in a few minutes and see what there is. Now, first of all, I just want to start for those of you, if you happen to be watching the replay, or maybe you showed up for this is your first time here. My name is Anita. I have a website called ketogenicwoman.com, and I have a YouTube channel of the same name. And I've lost about 140 pounds total through low carb, then keto, and now carnivore. And it's been a journey. It's been a long journey. It's not done yet. I still have 40 pounds to lose, and I feel very confident that this, what I'm doing now is going to get me there. I've added in exercise and a few other variables that I wasn't paying attention to before. Now I am. So I have moved, and a lot of you, have sent me messages or commented because I kind of have disappeared off the face of the earth for the last 2 weeks. And it was a hard move. I've moved before, a few times, and this was one of the hardest ones because it was, in another city, from the lower mainland area of Vancouver over to Vancouver Island, which means putting all your stuff on a ferry boat, shipping it over there, and then it's just everything was longer and more complicated. And it's an older home, and some renovations needed to be done as soon as we moved in. Not major ones, like we're just doing like the kids downstairs, I have two adult sons who are fixing up the suite downstairs, and so it's been 24/7 hammering and sawing, and it feels like my children have moved back home because my fridge is stuffed with their fruit and their candies and their, like all their carby things, and so there's a lot more temptations around, so I'm dealing with that, and it's just been a little crazy, and it's been hard to get back to things. But I'm determined that I'm going to proceed, and I feel like I'm back. So now I saw that somebody said, what did they say? Who was it? Copper's Kitchen. You were talking about your pork belly bites, and you emailed me today about your pork belly bites, and then my son and I went to Costco. I saw pork belly, bought some, and I had pork belly bites for lunch because of you. Thank you. It was delicious, though. Haven't had them in a while. So obviously I've got my air fryer and everything else is up and running. I'm very happy about that. What was this question I was going to talk about? A couple of people made a mention of seeing my new place. So I have not figured out how to show pictures on or share video on a live stream. I know you can do it because I saw when I was on Carrie's live stream the other day from Homestead How, he did that big 10-hour thing. I noticed that he was putting things up on the screen, so I know it can be done. And I should have asked him, but I just ran out of time today. But I saw some videos on YouTube. I haven't watched them yet. I just saw that they were there about how to do that. But tomorrow, if you, there's a new video coming out that we did a couple of days ago, and it has all kinds of clips of, the new kitchen and just some different things about the house. The thumbnail picture you saw was me sitting in front of the studio. We have an art studio in the back. And it's very cute, and the garden is very private, and it's become my new happy place for, just sitting outside at the end of a long day. The weather here has been beautiful so far. So unfortunately, the only view of my new place that you'll see here today in the live stream is this wonderful grove of birch trees in the backyard, or this is the front yard actually, but it's in back of me here. I really love that. This morning a hummingbird was humming at my window. Okay, so let me see. I better start looking at the comments, see if there's anybody that asked a question. You can ask me anything. Oh, hi from Colorado, Melody. I drove through Colorado in April with my son when we went to KetoCon, and just what a beautiful state that is. Oh my goodness. Hi Danny, hi Deborah, Melissa, Shannon, Bonnie, Christina. A lot of you I know. I'm overwhelmed. Eve, hi. Who else is here? I don't want to miss anybody now. Now this one's Storge. It sounds like it's pronounced Storge. Has a little accent on it. You guys have been, some of you have been here since 3:30. Oh my goodness. Chatting it up amongst yourselves. Stina, SK Steffi, D. Lee, Teresa, Deborah, Bright Silver, Rick Wen 96. I recognize your name. Katie Campbell. Oh, thank you for missing me, Katie. Go North Mary. I don't know what that means, but I love it. Joanna, Peggy. Hello, Peggy from Maryland. Martha, hi. Yes, I survived the move. My son, the one that's still in Langley, I was talking to him yesterday, and he said, you better get on there soon or people are going to think your boat sank. Kim, hello. Thank you for, yes, please hit the like button. Thank you so much. Nancy Herrera, nice to see you. Joy, hello. Patty, Carolyn. Oh, thank you, everybody. A lot of people are saying they missed me. I missed being here. Cindy, hi, Cindy. How are you? Kat Diamond from Northern California. Hello. Yes, the foliage behind me, Danny. I just love that. This is what I get to work with every day. I get to see that behind me. There is a gardener that is, I had to hire somebody to come and do a little bit of pruning because things are going against the house and on the power lines out there. There's actually a grove of 3 white birch trees, and I'm going to put some pictures up at some point of the bark because it's like white. It's beautiful. So it's kind of my backdrop, but it needs a little bit of trimming. Bonnie is from Ohio. Yes. Wynette. Thank you, Wynette. That is such a nice comment. Love it. DA from Boston. Faye from Maine. Oh, Stina is from, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Stina from Massachusetts. Hi, Sherry. Oh, so nice to see you. Christina is from Sweden. Oh, my goodness. Cindy from Kentucky. Dee Lee from Illinois. Tracy from Orlando. Oh, my goodness. You guys are from all over. Amanda from Edmonton. Hello. Got some of my favorite relatives live in Edmonton. Better early than late, yes. Joetta, Andy, Dashhund Gal. Oh my goodness. So many people here really love it. Hi, Bob from Chicago. Crafty Ketovore from St. Louis. Oh, I know you. You have been trying some of my recipes. Hello there. Mama Vic from Ohio. All from San Jose. Storge, if I pronounce that right, is from Southern California. Glenda, North Carolina. Josh from Iowa. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, Susan from Michelle. Apparently there are 300 people here. I'm not going to be able to mention you all, but I'm so thrilled for you to be here. So, it has been, like I said, it's been a challenge this week because all of a sudden I'm exposed to foods that I don't normally even have to look at. And like I said, it feels like my kids have moved back home because their kitchen downstairs is all torn apart. So they're keeping everything upstairs in my fridge and on my counters and in my cupboards. And but you know, it's been good. It's been good. I have actually maintained my weight, and that's a miracle because something like this, a big move like this, had it happened 10 years ago or more, it would have meant an automatic 20-pound gain, like for no reason whatsoever. It just would have happened that way. I'm thinking that probably some of you can relate to that. I was an emotional stress eater, and that was on the plus side or the minus side. Something bad happened, I ate. Something sad happened, I ate. Something happy happened, I ate. And I know that, many of you have told me that this is kind of what you have dealt with as well. And something about going, first low carb, then keto, now carnivore, there really just isn't any cravings. It used, even visually, foods used to trigger me from like even walking through the grocery store, the stuff that my kids are storing in my kitchen. That used to be a problem early in my journey. So if any of you are, struggling with that, it gets better. I mean, honest to goodness, it gets better. Like for me, it's kind of not food for me anymore. It's kind of like, that is what that is. They eat that. I don't eat that. I don't crave that anymore. It's the power of, I think it might be the power of ketosis maybe, or the power of just not having these things anymore. So, just know that if you're struggling in any way with cravings still, it's a journey, and for some it starts with just getting it out of your system, and eventually it can be around and you don't care. That's kind of where I'm at. So I'm quite happy to be the same weight today as I was a month ago. Do I want to lose more? Of course I do. But with all the stress and everything that I've gone through, to me it's a win, and I'm actually really pleased with that. So let me just scroll down, see if yes, this is my new place, DA. I am sitting in it now. This is my office where I'm sitting. So maybe if I do another live stream, I'll do it from the kitchen, or I wanted to do it outside, by the art studio, but the people next door are doing some construction work, and so it's pretty noisy out there. Okay, let me see what else we've got there. Thank you so much. Oh, look at all these people. I'm talking to my friends. Yes, I am. That is so sweet. I am settling in well. For those of you that have been asking. Oh, I have a question. Yes, let's see here. Let me see. So I put cinnamon in my coffee, early AM, empty stomach. My blood sugar dropped so low. Was it the cinnamon? It could have been. I have heard that cinnamon does have that effect. If I had seen this question before, I would have looked it up just to make sure. But cinnamon is supposed to be good for your blood glucose. I've heard that before, and I think I've even told people that, to include more cinnamon. Unfortunately for me, a little bit of cinnamon goes a long way. Like if I put in more than like a sprinkle, I get some heartburn kind of reaction from it. So if you can tolerate cinnamon, I'd say use it, because it does have some properties like that. So I think that's really cool, actually. Thank you, Peggy. I love it too. Oh, Laura, you are in Arizona and you're hoping to move back to BC. Wow, that's a long ways. Let's see. Your first live and already more than 150 people. It is wonderful, isn't it? I'm just blown away by this. Oh, someone's from Vancouver. Deborah from Vancouver. Penticton. Oh my goodness, these are all people in my neighborhood. So trying to give my fellow Canadians a shout out. I really appreciate the Canadian support. About 90% of my subscribers, YouTube gives me these analytics, but about 90% of my subscribers when I first started were like over 90% were from the US, and gradually I'm getting more and more Canadians who are subscribing. So it's nice that you guys are finding me. Oh, thank you, Melissa, Copper's Kitchen, for confirming that. I kind of thought that was the case. I just couldn't 100% remember it. I have been busy around here. Thank you, Bob. It's been great to move here, to be closer to my kids, and loving it so far. Just a lot of work. Older homes are a lot of work, more so than I thought. But here we are. Oh, hi there, Everyday Carnivore. If you guys have not subscribed or checked out Everyday Carnivore, please do so. He's got a great channel, and we are going to do something. We were talking the other day. We're going to do something together soon again. We've already, he interviewed me, I guess, has it been 2 months? I don't even know. The time lately has just gone by, but thank you for coming today. Okay. You have been having, B Brown has been having their own journey to carnivore, taking many tips. Which part, if any, would you have skipped about carnivore? That's hard to say because our journeys are so individual. And I'm one of those people. I've always been a bit of a brat. So I'm one of those people that 100 people can say, you should do it this way. This is the best way. And I always think that somehow I will skip the pitfalls and I will be able to do it my way. And then eventually I go, oh yeah, they were right. I don't want to admit it, but they were right. So I think, as much as I would love to say this is the way that somebody should do it, there really is so many different ways to do carnivore. Now, some people would tell you that there's only one way, and that is meat only. And some people will say beef only. But okay, that is the case for some people. If a person has autoimmune issues and they have sensitivities, that is an excellent place to start. But it's not the only way because some people include dairy, eggs. I think I do better on a little less dairy than what I normally, have had. And I feel like that might be something that some people could look at if they're stuck on carnivore, if they're stalled, or if, they're not losing. Carnivore is not really a weight loss, diet. I mean, some people come to carnivore thinking, oh, it's a crash diet of some kind, because they're just, some of the headlines and the YouTube titles can be very clickbaity that way. And it isn't. It is a healing protocol. And I have come to appreciate that very much because I tend to go through several weeks where I don't lose anything, but I feel really good all the time. And then whoop, 5 pounds will come off. And I think it's hard to sort of give this, this is how a person should do it. I share things that affect me or don't affect me as time goes on, and I'm always learning new things. I am taking part in coaching. I'm in Kelly Hogan's group almost every month. I skipped this month because it's just crazy. And I probably, maybe in a couple months, I'll jump back into her group because it's something different every month. And I just love learning. I love learning from the people who have been around for years and years. There's a couple other coaching programs that I do plan to take that other people are offering. And just because I want to learn from them, because yes, I've had success, but I don't know everything. And I feel like there's just always something new to learn. I think if I could skip anything, it would be the negativity that some people will bring to this. This is the way to do it, and there's no other way. I just don't buy into that, and I hope that people will, be more accepting of each other and their journey. And I generally am keeping it very simple now. I eat meat, salt, little white pepper, have some dairy now and then. I have some cheese now and then. I love eggs. That's pretty much it. I don't even do a lot of recipes on a daily basis. I do recipes on YouTube because people ask me for them, and because there are people who are at the very beginning of their journey. I think the people that are at the very beginning of their journey, they sometimes need a path to follow. If on my first day of doing this, someone had said you can never have anything like you're only ever going to eat burgers and steak for the rest of your life, roast, that's it. You're not going to have anything else. I probably would not have jumped in and done it. I really don't think so. And so I'm grateful for the people who are out there going, well, you can make a carnivore cheesecake if you really need it. Or, well, you can make, this recipe, like pasta noodles made out of meat, all those things helped me. I don't use them very often anymore. I now just like a burger on a plate with butter. That's kind of my favorite meal. And So I think that, you know, give each other the space to follow this the way, you know, whatever's best for you and your family. You know, some people are also feeding other members of their family as well. And you may see me now on YouTube doing some more keto stuff, because now I have more family members here. I will be sometimes preparing communal things, and I will share it on YouTube, because I know a lot of you that follow me are not carnivore. You're keto or you're ketovore. And to me, it's a spectrum. You know, on this end is low carb, on this end is, you know, lion diet. And then in between, there's all these variations. So, you know, one of the things that I think I would have done sooner is give up sweeteners. That has really helped me a lot. Like, that really progressed things for me, because especially in terms of cravings, and thinking about food, you know, that committee at the back of your head that says, oh, you should have this today or whatever. Anyways, I think sometimes I tend to go on and on. So let me see what other questions there are. I'm getting behind on these. Well, Beatrice has lost 71 pounds since February of this year. Amazing. Hello from Las Vegas. Will there be a house tour? There will be a house tour. It just is not going to happen in this live, because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to share pictures and things like that. But there's going to be something for sure. It'll happen. But watch, if you can, watch tomorrow's video, because you'll see my new kitchen. I'm cooking in my new kitchen. You'll see that, and you'll see a few little tidbits here and there. Oh, an islander. Hello, my Aussie vacation. Ladysmith. I have friends in Ladysmith. Let's see. Oh, happy birthday, Shannon. Tomorrow's your birthday. Your son took you to a steakhouse. How nice. That is excellent. Oh, hi. I can't remember your first name, but you are the person that I met at Save On Foods, right? Thank you so much. You will get a walk through, Martha. Hello, Hobo on Wheels. Oh, your son used cinnamon for his diabetes. Yeah, doctors will do that, won't they? They want you to take the drugs. Well, hopefully he'll change his eating habits as well, and maybe take less of those. So, okay. Bobby R says she thinks she might need to give up dairy. Yeah, you know, I get sad about it too. I think, so you like cottage cheese or yogurt or a cube of cheese. Do you think your cravings tame down without dairy? Somewhat. I think more so sweeteners. I don't know if you're still doing sweeteners, but if you're having trouble with cravings, then I would definitely look at that. However, for some people, dairy can trigger cravings, and for me, I think it's that, like, if I can have dairy in a recipe. So if there's a recipe that contains dairy as part of other things, that seems to be okay for me. But if I just have straight up cheese, that is a big problem for me, because I do want more of it. You know, a little cube becomes a big cube, and the size of the cube grows, and you know, it's one of those things where I almost wish that there was a way to just buy a cube of cheese sometimes, you know, so that there's not a hunk of it in your house. I don't know. But it definitely is, you know, one of the reasons that I try to limit it is because I have some rosacea issues, and I definitely have seen the difference. When I did some time with no dairy at all, I could see my skin clearing up almost immediately. I've had a sort of a little lump on my eye for a long time. It's reduced incredibly, like it's really shrunk and it's not red anymore. So I feel like I have some dairy sensitivities. So that's why I'm trying to cut it back. Okay, warmer. Where I am here, it's about the same as Vancouver area, except maybe not quite as stuffy. Like in the valley where I was living, it tended to get what's the word? Like we're near the ocean here, so we get more breeze and a little more windiness and things. So it's a little nicer that way. Thank you, Sherry. I'm definitely thrilled to be back on YouTube. Some people really are. I'm not okay. Let's see. Yes. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. I'm trying to read too many comments at once. There's a lot of them down here. Do you have a plan for the temptations? Not really. It used to be something that I would have to make sure that I had, but it's been so long since I used to do a lot of binge eating, and things would, I'd have something and it would send me off and running for weeks on end, but that doesn't seem to happen anymore. So it's I don't even consider it food. I can see that the kids have, this, that, and the other thing, and I'm like, it doesn't even affect me at all. So I wanted people to know that it gets it does get better. Like over time, the more you eat in a certain way, and that becomes part of your life, and you're not constantly craving. You can even, and I've done this, I'm just being completely transparent, like for a birthday party or a Christmas dinner, I can go a little bit off, and I'm not off and running. I'm right back at it at the next meal. So if that gives anybody hope that this is not a thing that, forever and ever and ever, you will. And, I shouldn't say you will, but many people can get to that point where something like that, once or twice a year is not going to derail their progress. They will be able to just go, yeah, I did that and didn't feel so good afterwards. This is much better. Like you get to that point where it's more important to feel good and healthy and strong than it is to start eating carbs again. So I hope that gives some of you some hope. I have not tried the carnivore mashed potato recipe. That is from Chris Cooking Nashville. I love that guy. I love his channel. I interviewed him on my channel a month or so ago. I haven't tried it because, first of all, it's got a lot of dairy, and he came out with that just when I'm in the middle of all the moving and everything else, and it seems like a lot of work. So I may try it at some point, but I'm like I said, potatoes and rice and even the breads. Like I was really into making all the breads a year or so ago, the egg white breads and everything. Pretty happy with just a burger on my plate and a pat of butter. Pretty happy with a steak. It's fast, it's easy, it makes me feel good. Not to say I won't try those things anymore. And I do make some recipes. So just haven't yet. I will. Hello, Yvonne. Good to see you here. I'm looking to see if there are any more questions. Mrs. Moon, yes, I haven't retired yet. I'm still working part-time, but it is on the list. Okay, how are you finding the food shopping in a new place? Well, I would say I was here for about 3 or 4 days and was on my way to a grocery store when I stumbled upon this place nearby. It's walking distance from my house. It's called the Wholesale Club. And they had They had these big, long ribeye pieces. I think they're called primal cuts, for about 8 something a pound. And I was just thrilled. I brought one home. I have a food saver that I bought from a sale, again, before the move. And so I hadn't even taken the wrapping off it, but the sale price was so good. It's one of those vacuum sealers. So I'm going to do a video with that because I was really impressed with how that worked. And so I cut that big thing up. I've been having ribeye almost every day for the last week. I cut it up into steaks and I vacuum sealed them all. And my freezer is full of ribeye steaks. So I was really thrilled to find the wholesale club. Today I went to Costco for the first time. It's about a 10-minute drive from here, so not too bad. But I like the little markets. So for those of you who are in my area, if I know a lot of people on Facebook, they ask me about cod livers and different things like that. The Fairway Market in their ethnic aisle sells single cans of cod livers. Those of you that want to try it. Over in the Lower Mainland, you can get the same type of cod liver at the Superstore, the Real Canadian Superstore, also in the ethnic aisle. It won't be with the sardines, it won't be with the other fishies and everything. It's in the ethnic aisle. So have a look. Just thought I'd throw that out there while I was thinking of it. But yeah, I actually love exploring new grocery stores and what they have. And so been doing well with the shopping here, Patty. Okay. Oh, somebody is hot in Florida, I bet. I have not yet set up a P.O. box, and I should say, please don't mail anything to Langley. I had to close it. I had to close it rather than forward it. They wanted to charge me $300 to forward my mail from Langley to here. And I don't get anything very often. Some people send me postcards. Other people have sent me packages in the past. But I feel like it costs so much to mail these days, especially from the US to Canada. It's just like, I'm not even sure if I'm going to do a post office box again. I'm really going to think about it and see how I feel about it in a couple of weeks. But but then I have people that contact me and they say, I really want to send you something. And that's so nice. Like it really is nice. And I'm always happy to get mail. So I will keep you posted on that. Anna Banana, thank you so much. You guys just have such wonderful comments here. Oh, did we meet at KetoCon? Oh, I met so many people at KetoCon. I'm just trying to look at your face. It's so tiny on my screen there. Somebody is from Nanaimo. They do meet. So there is a carnivore community here on Vancouver Island, and they do meetups in Victoria as well as Nanaimo. And they come over to the Lower Mainland for people once in a while. So I will put the link below when this is over. I'm not sure how it works on LiveStream, but I think that I can put in links and then you can come back and see it on my YouTube channel under the Live tab. You can go to the description and I'll put the link to the British Columbia Carnivores group because they're fairly active. They do regular meetups. Danny, you tried the cod livers. Yeah, the texture is completely different. It's definitely, what do I do with all the oil? I eat it. I try to mix it in. I break it in with my cod livers because it's not added oil. It's the cod liver's own oil, which is really healthy for you. So I try to eat as much as I can. Sometimes it's a bit much. Watch my video tomorrow that comes out because I have a recipe where I use cod livers. And it might help those people who are thinking that they don't want to do cod livers. It's sort of like the sardine bites was an introduction for some people into sardines. These eggs that I did might help some people overcome their fear of the cod livers. How far did I move from Langley and why the move? So by, I think it's less than 100 kilometers, but there's a body of water in between, so we have to take the ferry. It's a day trip, to come over to the island or to go the other way. There's lineups at the ferry. The ferry can be a disaster. It's worse than flying, I think, sometimes. So there's a bit of history with the move. So I was in Langley, and my mother lived in the house with us, and there was, at one time there was teenagers and young adults, and there was their friends, that didn't have a place to stay, things like that. It was a full house, 6-bedroom, full house in Langley, just completely packed with people coming and going sometimes, including my mother, who had Alzheimer's. And we basically took care of her for her last 5 years of life. And then she was moved into a home because we got to the point where she needed 24-hour care, nursing care. It was just more than what, a person without any medical training could deal with. And so she moved into a home. And then at that time, we decided to sell the house and put it up on the market. It sold. And I thought she was going to live another 3, 4, 5 years. So to me, it made sense to stay close by where we were. It was a much smaller place, like a 2-bedroom condo, basically. And then she died. She died even before we moved into the new place. She passed away. And, but there we were. So I guess just in this last year, kind of the conversation has just sort of shifted towards us all family members combining our resources, because I don't know where you live, but here real estate market has gone a little berserk. Rents are if you're renting and you're trying to find a 1-bedroom apartment, it's like $2,500 a month. 2 bedrooms, $3,000 plus. It's an impossible situation. I really feel for people. I feel for young people especially. And I think it just made a lot of sense that our family members would get together and buy a house together where we could cohabitate. We have a nice big yard now. It's private. We have 2 kitchens in the place. It'll be there's some separation and there's some communal areas. It's going to be great. And, so it's kind of an economic thing too. This will allow me to retire sooner rather than later, which I would like to do. I would like to retire from my accounting job and just hang out with you guys. Won't that be awesome? And do gardening and things like that. There's other things I want to do besides balancing someone else's books all the time. So it's, that's kind of it. I don't know how else to explain it, but it was it kind of evolved. That decision evolved over time. Okay, wow. There's New Brunswick, Iowa. I'm still going through the where people are from. Oklahoma, Washington State. Hello, Cynthia from Washington. We're neighbors now. Jay from Ottawa. 24 karat gold is from Hawaii. Okay, so 3 weeks into carnivore, trying to heal rheumatoid arthritis, and I cannot remember what HBP is off the top of my head. Things seem to be getting worse instead of better. So, I have heard that from other people too. Especially, I don't know, yeah, you said 3 weeks in. So the first 30 to 60 days are the worst because you're going through adaptation, you're going through some detox, things are happening behind the scenes. And with healing rheumatoid arthritis, I think that's kind of a big deal too. That is going to add into this. Yeah, I wish I could remember what HBP was. It's just not coming back to me. My challenges were with bowel movements, if we can talk about that on YouTube here. And it went both ways, like too much, too little. I really had to play with the fat volumes to try to get a happy medium. And I've heard that from other people too. Other people have had severe problems like the first 30 to 60 days. And I just kept hearing over and over that that the first 30 to 60 days are the worst. And if you like surviving that is kind of the goal, and getting back to an equilibrium with your body. Eventually that will happen once you adapt. So, I hope you don't quit before it gets better, because, once you get past those first couple of months, HBP, high blood pressure, I think that, are you saying that your blood pressure is higher? I have heard that can happen. But yeah, just hang in there. And if are you taking electrolytes? I would ask you that to maybe consider that, because that can kind of make some of those symptoms feel a little worse, getting headaches, nausea, things like that. The electrolytes will help. You can do homemade electrolytes. You can buy electrolytes. There's many ways you can do that. I have a recipe for a homemade electrolyte. Dr. Barry has one. And if you want to look into, there's another carnivore out there who she is making a lot of progress with her rheumatoid arthritis. It's Amanda from Carnivorous Me. You may enjoy following her. She's really made some health gains in that respect. And the other one was Michaela Peterson. She's the originator of the Lion Diet. And going Lion Diet for her, she had very severe rheumatoid arthritis, juvenile, since she was a little child. And that has helped her overcome that. So I would encourage you to stick it out and keep trying, and keep coming and talking to other people who are doing it too, and try to find those influencers on YouTube or wherever they are that have walked that path as well with the RA. But thank you for coming today. Okay, UK, Atlanta, Georgia. Let's see here. Janet, yes, you made it for a live. Little Willow, your daughter's home for the summer, and so many temptations in the kitchen. That is hard. I definitely feel for you. And Bonnie also went through that, visiting her family and exposed to foods you don't have in your home. It is a challenge, and I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it has become easier. I mean, that's for certain. Yvonne, oh yes, you've got all those all those kids that are, and one girlfriend. So I have that too. So I have one of my sons is vegetarian, not vegan. He does eat eggs and dairy and things like that, and his girlfriend is as well. So I mean, yeah, love to see them eat one of my ribeyes, but it is definitely challenging. Okay. Your cousin started carnivore and she developed a keto rash. I had no problem starting keto. That I've heard that before, and I think it should pass. There are people that do develop that keto rash, and what I would suggest to her, maybe you could suggest this to her, that she kind of do a bit of an elimination, because maybe there's something that she's eating that is triggering that. And maybe just do a couple of weeks of, if she's willing to do a couple of weeks of meat only, or some very low toxin vegetables, meat and vegetables. Don't use any keto labeled products. Maybe stop the dairy. Like just go really super clean for a couple of weeks, and then add something back, and then add something back, and just see if there's something that she's consuming that might be triggering that rash. Because some people never get that keto rash. I've never had it, but I have heard that some do. This is Mrs. Moon. This is a downfall for many people. Celebrations. A lot of people they go fine for months and months and months. They go to a birthday or holidays, and then it's hard to come back. So I think you have to be at that point where you will come back and can come back. And I would say even for some people, 2 or 3 years on keto or carnivore is too soon to dabble in extras. Like, I think sometimes people might need some years under their belt. I've been doing this for 10 years now. So I feel like, I guess in a way it's like, you want to be careful there, because some people may never be able to do it. And that you have to know if you're a moderator or an abstainer. So, some people can moderate. Some people can have that thing once a year or every now and then. And it doesn't cause any type of a downfall. And there are the others who are the abstainers that may never be able to have it. So you got to know where you fall in that, and, tread carefully accordingly. No cravings, but how do you deal with the emotions and stress? Yeah, stress is a big one, and emotions too. I don't know. I guess as I go along, and so this is the value of never giving up. I have a motto, and it is, sometimes I have given in, but I have never given up. And so I have been doing this imperfectly at times for 10 years. It gets easier and easier as time goes on. And I still have emotions. I still have stress. But I seem to be able to bounce back from it so much quicker. And I seem to be able to handle things better. I have my moments. Sometimes I have my days that are bad. But I seem to be able to come back from it. And I feel like it's a combination of just the time spent working on this way of eating and the health gains too. There is nothing that I can think of that's worth like eating something. People will say, oh, I had to have that or this or whatever. There really is nothing in my mind that is as good as how my health feels now. I'm 65 years old, no medications. I have to tell you guys something too that I just remembered. When I filmed the last video in the old house, that was on July 18th, I tripped over a light stand and I took a really hard fall. I was scared. I could barely walk for the rest of the day, and my knee and my shin on my left leg are still deeply bruised. There's still pain. I think if that had happened to me 10 years ago when I was, over 320 pounds and unhealthy, I may be in the hospital. Like I may have not come back from that at the age that I am. I feel very strong. I feel like I survived. Like it was really a hard fall from almost like a height, because those light stands are this high, and I was running around wearing flip flops when I shouldn't have been, and caught it. But I think I would have landed in the hospital. I really do, and I feel like as I'm getting older, as the time is passing, I'm getting stronger and healthier and more emotionally stable. And I hear for carnivores, this is a big thing, that having any processed foods out, and I count keto processed foods in that as well. Getting that out of your way of eating helps your emotional stability and your stress and your mental health. It does for me, and I hear these stories over and over again for others. So it takes time. It takes time, and it takes persistence and consistency. Never give up. Even if you give in, never give up. Oh, someone else asking me about the mashed potatoes. Nope, haven't done it. I will, haven't done it. I've heard that they are good from the people who have done it. 4 months in, Joy, it's going to take longer. Great. Congratulations on being 4 months in. That's amazing. But yeah, it took me a long time before I could tolerate other people's food. Oh, Joanna. Yes, I so meant to mention this at the beginning of this. Thank you so much, Joanna, congratulating me on the 80,000 subscribers. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. I never thought that I would ever see that. And it's because of all you guys. Like, thank you so much. The first thing that I cooked in my new kitchen was a can of sardines. I didn't even cook it. I just ate it. That was before I unboxed my my air fryer. And then, Indigo Neely, I didn't even realize. Neely, I saw the question, clicked on the question, and it just dawned on me that it was you. Yes, it was a ribeye steak. Thank you for being here, Neely. You know what? I need to get you on. You and I need to do a live stream together, because we have so much crossover of fans. The people that follow me absolutely love you. They talk about you all the time in my Facebook group. But thanks for the question. But yes, steaks. I'm really doing steaks this past week. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Deely. The last couple of days, it's been tiring, but the last couple of days I feel extremely refreshed. Sherry, wait till you hear this. I had an outdoor grill, but it was a little condo size one that someone had given me when I moved into the condo. And rather than pack it up, I gave it to one of the other people in the complex where I lived for her patio, because I am going to buy myself a grill smoker combo thing. I think it's a Traeger or something like that. I saw it at the local Home Depot here. I have gone to Home Depot about 20 times since I'm here 10 days now. It's just crazy. But I saw them there. That's on my wish list. So I'm just using my Ninja right now for my steaks. So do I cook carnivore or keto for my family? I do both. Mostly I'm cooking meat. But as I said, there's now 2 vegetarians here. And so they generally will not eat, they won't eat meat. Not yet. Hopefully they don't hear me. But so I am totally going to be doing a lot more keto cooking because one of my sons who lives here now, I would call him, he's not vegetarian, and he eats generally quite healthy. I would call him almost more paleo. And so I'm going to be cooking some things that he likes. He even tried my cod liver eggs yesterday. I was impressed that he was willing to try them. He has tried everything. He had pork belly today with me at lunchtime. And so I will continue to unashamedly cook my meat, but they can have their stuff too. I mean, they can there's certain things that I'm not gonna bake brownies or anything like that. They want that, they're gonna have to make it themselves. There's certain lines I don't know if I can cross. And they will be providing food. I will be providing food. We have a communal freezer, like a big stand-up freezer. I'll have to look at some of their stuff when I go get my meat out, and it's okay. Not all our meals are going to be eaten together. I often will, I get up in the morning and make my first meal before they see the light of day. And, we've had some dinners together. We've had some dinners separately. I think it's going to be fine. And I mean, I will not change how I eat for other people, no matter how much I love them. So, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. This one's kind of hard to answer. Did I lose most of my weight with the low carb, keto, or carnivore? So I'm gonna say that it's almost equal now. Now that I've been going along. At first, it was, I would say I think I lost about 60 pounds on just doing low carb. Just like in the beginning, I just cut carbs. I didn't even know about keto. Certainly didn't know about carnivore. Cut carbs. But I found over time, it became harder and harder. Even though I had a lot of weight to lose, I was over 320. So I had a lot of weight to lose. But it's still my body, and it could have been my age. I didn't really start this journey in earnest until I was in my 50s. And so it just became very difficult. And then I found keto, and then that worked for a while. I think I lost another 30 or 40 pounds doing keto. And now I've lost about 40 pounds since doing carnivore. And, eventually that's going to be more because I still want to lose another 40. But I just found that, I had to change. I had to clean things up. I have food sensitivities, which I didn't even know I had. And I know that sometimes you can develop them later in life. This is what I've been told. But I also was covering it with some medications as well. I was on a 15-year medication for acid reflux. Weaned myself off that. And suddenly there's a lot of foods that I can't eat. And I've had people actually say to me, well-meaning friends, well, why don't you just take the medication and then you can eat those foods again? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think I like knowing what the root cause is of my issue, and just being able to tailor what I'm eating to what my body thinks or says it needs. So, that's kind of that in a nutshell. Wow, we are at an hour. I do want to answer a couple more questions before. Hi, Renee. We want to do a couple more questions. My current eating strategy. I'm still doing high fat, Carolyn. I'm not counting macros right now because I'm not saying I probably will look at my macros again. But right now, with the moving and everything else, it was just easier to just eat the meat and not worry about calories, macros, anything like that. I feel like, I have maintained, I have not gained anything since this move, which I'm very happy about. I'm sure I went up and down in between, but I'm just not worrying about that right now. I would say probably by the end of August, I'll see where I'm at, And then I'm thinking of taking, there's some coaching that I'm thinking of taking, and I haven't decided 100% yet, but I will. And then I'll, of course, share that with you guys. And they will be looking at my macros and all that sort of thing. So more will be revealed as the month goes on. Thank you, Danny. That was an amazing live stream. I wasn't there for very long. I'm so glad that they did it, though. For those of you that don't know, Homestead How did a 10-hour live stream a couple of days ago. He's raising money for his carnivore movie, which is really exciting. He's got some big names backing him up. And he had an anonymous donor who said that any money he raised that day, like from super chats and things like that, was going to be matched by this donor for up to $10,000. And I think they came very close to that. So that would mean $20,000 towards this movie that he's doing. So there was a lot of amazing health and recovery stories on that 10 hours. So I was really happy to be a part of it. Yes, we are neighbors, Mrs. Moon. Glenda read that coffee can stimulate insulin. Do you know anything about that? I drink a lot of coffee and I'm stalled. Well, I have heard that, and I'm not a doctor or anything like that, and so I don't know for sure. I am actually, I drink almost no coffee right now. And I say almost no coffee because I am sometimes having some decaf, and I've had a little bit here and there on days when I just did not get enough sleep. But I've generally been, for the last 2 months, since early June, I've been coffee free. But again, I'm not tracking, like I don't have a CGM monitor, like continuous glucose monitor or anything like that. So I don't know for sure for myself if it has any effect on that. But yes, I've heard that. And I would certainly look into, I think Dr. Barry probably has a video on it, or Dr. Sivas. So yeah, if you're stalled, it's definitely something you can try to eliminate. If you're still doing sweeteners or dairy, that could also be it. So it's hard to say. Okay, here we go. Dr. Chafee. Yeah, Dr. Chafee is not a fan of drinking coffee, and he does recommend it. I have heard that. Judy, this is a really good point. Your brain doesn't remember how some carbs taste, and you don't want to remind yourself. I like that, actually. Oh, we have someone here. I'm getting a kick out of this one. There's worse things in life than being conceived in Victoria. It's a wonderful place. Yes. Okay. So somebody was asking about the coffee. I'm using, most days I'm coffee free. Most days I have not had any at all. There's been some days where I've had decaf, and especially, going to restaurants or going out or anything like that with people, I will order a decaf if people are having coffee. But there's been a little bit here and there. I don't feel the same. It doesn't seem to have the same power over, like I felt before. I couldn't even get up without coffee, and sometimes like I don't even remember, like I'll have an Element, or I'll have hot bone broth, lemon water. Those are all, they've been good substitutes for me. Thank you, Janice. I feel really good. And thank you for watching Chris's channel too. I did, maybe. I think a lot of the YouTubers are now sending him followers. He's great. He's kind of a boy genius in the kitchen, I think. So, Yeah, that's awesome. The dogs have adjusted to the move. The kids have aquarium fish, and one has a cat. So I'm hoping that won't be a problem, but we'll see. Oh, Melissa's on day 6 with no coffee. It's not that bad, and you have lots of energy. Good. Okay. I am not checking my ketones right now. I have everything I need to check them. I think I won't even think about it until September. I think in September I probably will start looking at macros and ketones again, and just to see where I'm at. Coaching groups do offer support and community, and that's something really important to me, is community. I love being a part of a group where other people are all kind of doing the same thing. Just like I love doing the sardine challenge with other people. I hate doing it alone. So, yeah. We can get ketone monitors here in Canada, Christine. If you Google Fora 6 Canada, there is a place that ships out of Vancouver. That's where I got my Fora 6. And they also sell the ketone strips and the glucose strips. So I will also add that link to this description once I figure that out. Okay, I'm trying. We don't have too much time left because I need to get some dinner. And I have sort of for those of you that don't know, I eat my dinner quite early in the day. And so this is about where my cutoff is. Or I could just not eat till tomorrow. We'll see. Carnivore Ron, yeah, did Dr. Barry say that? That's good. I mean, I believe that there's a big spectrum where we all will find our way. I'm glad you were able to find some that works for you. I can't do MCT oil. It just kills my stomach. Okay. Time for a couple more questions, and then, wow. While I am looking for some questions to answer, Christine, I'm in Victoria, BC, British Columbia, on Vancouver Island. While I'm looking for more questions to answer, I just want to mention that I have a video coming out tomorrow. It's my first recipe video in this new house, so you'll see the kitchen and so on. The other thing I wouldn't mind knowing from you guys is, do you like this format? Should we do more of these? I don't eat nightshades either, Darla. I react terribly to them. Renee asking about lectins. This is on my list of things to do because oxalates, boy, I'm learning about them and definitely have an effect on them, or they have an effect on me. But lectins, I'm still not there knowing what that is exactly. I have an idea. Thank you for making my brown butter, Sandra. Oh, good. Other people love their food savers too. I did not notice any episodes of low blood sugar when I became carnivore. That did not affect me. That doesn't mean it won't affect somebody else. Yes, dried egg white protein powder and the meat flour, they are very expensive. They do last a long time, especially if you can keep them in the fridge. I suggest making your own, if you can make your own of both. And I will do videos at some point. Oh, good. Sandra, your headaches and dizzy spells are clearing up. Okay, what do I plan to do for exercise? I used to have a pool. I miss my pool. I really do. They had Aquafit in there 3 times a week. I will try to find a place nearby here. I have some weights with me and bands. And the place where I used to do my exercise, I was going 3 times a week for small group training. She has a YouTube channel where she does all that stuff online as well. Thank you, Denny, for the super sticker. I appreciate that very much. There you go up there. Oh, cod liver. $5 a tin. I'm in Canada. So at the Superstore, if any of you are in the Lower Mainland, the Superstore sells them 3 for $10. The one that I found here in Victoria at Fairway Market, pretty sure it was $5 or $6. I buy them by the case on Amazon, and it's around that same price, the $5 or $6 range. It is expensive, but I only eat probably a can or 2 a week because it's so high in, that it's very rich. So I eat half a can one day and another half the other day, and then I don't eat it again for another few days. Let's see. Put the link. Yes, I will. I will have to re-listen to what I have said here and put any links in that I have promised. Oh, Hobo on Wheels. 1 bite of cod liver and you were hooked. Way to go. Butchart Gardens. I haven't been there since I was a kid. I can hardly wait. Serene, I don't know how much fat actually gets absorbed in the food. If you're say you put in 2 tablespoons of tallow to cook something in, you could pour it off and measure it and see. I usually just save it. It's only important if you're tracking macros, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to find one more question, answer it, and then I think we need to wrap it up. And if I missed any questions, I'm so sorry. I did not expect this many people here that would come here today. I'm grateful that you did. Thank you so much. And just to see so many people that I recognize from commenting on my videos. Okay, yeah, I'm finding lots of comments. Thank you so much. And just no more. I'm having trouble finding any more questions. So, and that could just be because there's so many here. And what I will do next time, and I was going to do it today, but I couldn't figure it out, is have a moderator on with me so that she can help me with questions and things. The Carnivore group does have a Facebook page. I am going to link that. And thank you, Renee, for the super sticker. I appreciate it so much. Colorado Springs, beautiful place. I drove through there. Christine Brigham. Okay. Now, psoriasis on carnivore, that should be going the other way. I've had a lot of people tell me that their psoriasis got better after going carnivore, and I'm wondering if maybe look into histamine. Like, do you have any histamine issues? And that would be with aged meats. I don't know. Like, I find it odd. Like, I've not heard that before. So I'm sorry to hear that that's happening to you. Keto rash could be oxalate dumping. Yes, that is true. That is something that I have heard as well. Here's some pretty good advice. Forget calories. Eat till you're full. Eat at least 3 meals a day, as much as you want at each meal. It'll make you feel better, even if you think you're doing it wrong. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that, especially in the beginning. And I think as people go on, sometimes that can be, I had to do some tweaking to get my weight loss going again at one point. So it's not one size fits all. But I love that little bit of advice for people who are new. I think it's a great way to start and reassess in 3 months, see how you're doing. How do you deal with family members who try to sabotage your efforts at get-togethers, sneaking sugar into... So if I was to suspect that there was a family member, and my mom used to do this too. She used to make things and say there was no sugar, and there was, but I knew she did it. So I just wouldn't eat that. But sometimes you just have to say, I'm not going to eat it. I'm just, no thanks, I'm not hungry. If you suspect it, don't go there. And that is the best way for them to learn too, that they're not going to be able to pull the wool over your eyes like that. So I think I'm going to call it a live, my first live. Thank you guys so much for coming. I do have to go and make some dinner now and round up my kids for that as well, and take care of the doggies. I just don't even know what to say. I'm kind of overwhelmed with how many people came and hung out with me. And we're going to do this again. I don't know when, but watch tomorrow's video. You'll see my new kitchen. You'll see a few glimpses here and there. And we will put together a video of kind of a tour of the house, just showing some of the different rooms. It's a little chaotic right now. I mean, there's stuff everywhere. The only room that's 100% finished is the kitchen, and even it's not 100% finished, but it's good enough for everything. So thank you so much. I'm going to see you guys next time. See you tomorrow on YouTube, and I will add some links below. So talk to you guys later. Really appreciate you being here.